Years back, I read a quote, and the quote said, "Failure is fertilizer for future development." The author obviously believed that we ought to embrace failure and that we can learn from it. And I happen to believe that too. However, I also believe that failure can deny us from the sense of accomplishment that comes in just trying. You see, before you fail, first you had to have tried. A couple of months back, I decided to run my first marathon. And immediately I focused my eyes on a time. I wanted to run it in 3 hours and 30 minutes. That was an 8-minute pace. For any of you who have run in the past, now that's a bit of a daunting task, but I was set to do it, and I trained hard. I dedicated a lot of time to that, something that a husband and father of 3 daughters has little of. Nonetheless, there I was, 15 weeks later, 22 miles into the race, and I was feeling strong. All that workout paid off. The Biscayne Bridge was kicking in, when suddenly, a runner's nightmare. I pulled a hamstring and bam, I went crashing down onto the floor. I was in agonizing pain. All I kept thinking to myself as I looked at my watch was, there goes my time. 15 minutes later, I sat in an ambulance and the paramedics were taking my vitals. All I kept thinking about was the fall. Why me? I worked so hard. Why now? All the runners that just flew by me, well on their way to achieving their goals. I was having a little pity party. There I was feeling like a failure. And then it hit me. I had a moment of clarity. I thought to myself, I can still finish this race. And so I asked the paramedic, I said, can I keep running? They suggested I did, and they said you could re-injure your hamstring and it could be something severe. But if you want to, all you have to do is just sign this waiver and off you go. And so I did. When I walked out of that ambulance, the people that just a few minutes ago had helped me get up, had seen me fall, went into a frenzy. And I just drew from that energy. I started to walk. And then I started to trot. And then I was running again. Now, it was nowhere near the pace that I'd been able to sustain the prior 22 miles. But it was enough to get me through the most grueling, most painful, longest 4.2 miles of my running career. When I crossed that finish line, I just took in the moment. I thought about the 450 miles that I had logged for 15 weeks. I thought about the city streets of New York that I had just ran through, a city that I am so passionate about. All the children lined up on the sidelines, their hands sticking out, waiting for the runners to give them a high five. I must have given about 50 kids a high five that day. That's probably as close as I'm ever going to feel being a rock star. You see, that marathon wasn't defined by the disappointment of my fall. That marathon was defined by the success of my effort. I think everyone here perhaps has their own marathon fall story. Maybe a relationship that didn't go the way you would have liked it to have gone, but you tried. Maybe an investment you made that didn't pan out, but you tried. Maybe a business venture you got in, just didn't work out, but you tried. You see, we humans, we're so critical of ourselves, sometimes to our detriment. Yes, I believe that failure can be a springboard that will catapult us to our eventual success. But don't let it deny you of the sense of accomplishment that lies within the effort itself. So the next time you guys are called on to do something that you would consider difficult, where you might potentially fail, like perhaps stand up and do a speech at Toastmasters. Everyone here knows how nerve-wracking that can be. Once you're done, immediately, take in the moment. Think of the courage it took to get up here. Think of the effort you put forth. Think of the hard work it took to prepare the speech. Take that in. Enjoy the effort that you just put through. there will be plenty of time thereafter for you to think of what could you have said better, what went wrong. Enjoy the moment. Thank you.